When the Sacramento Kings fired head coach Mike Brown back on December 27th, it felt like there was chaos brewing in Sacramento, since there was also rumors swirling that DeAaron Fox wanted to be traded from the Kings. Ever since Doug Christie took over, though, as the Kings head coach, the team is now 9-2 ever since, and they look like one of the top teams in the Western Conference. One of the first and biggest reasons the Kings look like a much better basketball team is that Doug Christie has them playing at a higher pace. Under Mike Brown this season, the Kings were ranked 17th in the league in pace, coming in with an average of 99.43 per game. Now, under Doug Christie, the Kings come in with the 5th highest pace in the league at 101.4 a game. While those extra couple possessions of the game might not seem like a huge deal, clearly the Kings have been a much better team since Doug Christie has taken over and changed the tempo of the team. One other problem the Kings had under Mike Brown was that they were just simply collapsing in the fourth quarter. Under Mike Brown, the Kings had a fourth quarter net rating of negative 1.8 points per game. Now, under Doug Christie, they now have the best fourth quarter net rating of plus 28.6 points per game. It's also important to note that they've had 19 blown leads and 9 fourth quarter leads blown in total this season. Yet, recently, with DeAaron Fox out and the team down 17 points in the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan helped lead the Kings back to a double overtime win over the Heat. So the guys are all clearly on the same page, even if one of their 3 stars isn't available. And that leads me to the fact that the team is just simply playing great as a unit, and they definitely have that next man up mentality, as in the 11 games under Coach Christie now, DeAaron Fox missed 3 games, Keegan Murray missed 2 games, and Malik Monk missed a game, and the only game they lost was the one that Malik Monk didn't play in versus the Bucks. So clearly the guys are all on the same page and stepping up now. And it's not just role players stepping up, as the guy I mentioned before, DeMar DeRozan, has been much more efficient and has looked like a totally different player under new head coach Doug Christie's offense. Looking at DeRozan's shooting under Mike Brown this season, he was shooting 34% on catch-and-shoot field goals, 46% on pull-up field goals, and 60% on shots from less than 10 feet from the rim. And you can also see how low those field goal attempts were, so just remember that for when we look at his current numbers under Doug Christie in a second, and also look at how he only shot 31% on 1.6 catch-and-shoot three-point attempts per game, and also how he only attempted 0.5 pull-up threes a game. Now you can see over the last 11 games, he's taking more shots in every area, and the only area that he's shooting worse in is pull-up jumpers. But he's attempting only 0.3 more per game than he was under Mike Brown, kind of showing Christie has just had him attempting shots that simply work better for himself and just the team overall. DeRozan is attempting nearly 4 more field goals per game, while being the second highest scorer of the Doug Christie tenure in Sacramento. Another guy who's been so vital to the Sacramento Kings' recent success is Malik Monk. His scoring has jumped from 15.7 points per game under Mike Brown to 22.3 points per game under Coach Christie. But it's actually not his scoring that's been his biggest attribute to the Kings' recent success. It's actually what he's contributed everywhere else that's been so huge for the Kings. He went from averaging 3.5 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 0.8 steals to now averaging 4 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 1.4 steals per game in the last 11 games, which is a pretty sizable improvement if you ask me. His turnovers per game are up, but he's also attempting nearly 5 more shots per game and playing nearly 6 more minutes a night, so that should kind of be expected. Fox and Sabonis, as well as Murray's points per game, have all gone down since Christie took over, but Keon Ellis and Trey Lyles have had bigger roles in the rotation under Christie, and the Kings have clearly reaped the benefits of that as of late. I will mention, though, that while his scoring is down, Sabonis has been on an absolute tear lately, dominating the boards and shooting the ball extremely well when he does attempt shots. Also, I do want to shout out DeAaron Fox, as he's currently the NBA's leader in fourth quarter scoring and definitely one of the best fourth quarter players in the NBA in general. Also, for those who haven't watched much of the Kings this season, Kevin Huerter had been pretty inefficient for them this season, and as a result, he's definitely had a role change, as like I mentioned, they've implemented Keon Ellis and Trey Lyles into the rotation, which has been great for them, and I've also really liked the call-up of Devin Carter, too, from the G League. Carter has played great for them when he's gotten minutes, and his on-ball defense has been terrific for Sacramento when he's on the court. I'd love to see his role grow in the second half of the season for the Kings, as he's been super fun to watch, and he's just a very tough defensive player. The Kings have had some impressive wins over this 11-game stretch, beating the Warriors by 30 without DeAaron Fox, but I will say the Warriors didn't have Kuminga, Gary Payton II, or Podziemski. Their comeback win over the Heat without Fox was impressive as well, and they also beat a healthy Celtics team without DeAaron Fox, which was super impressive. I do also want to mention, I think their win over the Rockets, while they were healthy, was very good, and it kind of just proved that they can compete with any team on any given night, especially a tough defensive team like Houston. Now, though, they have a chance to prove if they're for real or not coming up, as they have a game against the Warriors once again, as well as games against the Nuggets, Knicks, Thunder, and T-Wolves. I think at a minimum, this Kings team will be a very tough out for whoever they face in either the play-in or the playoffs, but if they want to prove that they can compete for a conference title, they'll have the chance to do so over this upcoming stretch of games. I want to know what you think, though, in the comments about the Sacramento Kings, their recent great play, or just anything relating to the Kings or the NBA down below. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, as it helps me out a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I am out. Peace.